The year is 1896. Just after the Wild West era had ended, the Supreme Court had established, in the Plessy versus Ferguson case, the separate but equal doctrine. This allowed for segregation laws in states to become legal. For years, groups such as the NAACP challenged those laws, helping out the plaintiffs. It wasn't until one historic case helped grow the flame of the civil rights movement.
The year is 1954, and in the town of Topeka, Kansas, Oliver Brown is challenging the Board of Education of Topeka about racial segregation in schools. This was after his daughter, Linda Brown, was denied entrance into an all-white school. Oliver Brown and his NAACP attorneys claimed that racial segregation in schools violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. The amendment states,
"No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws."
This case eventually went all the way up to the Supreme Court, where they ruled that separate but equal was inherently unequal. This, in turn, violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, overturning the 1896 ruling of Plessy versus Ferguson. Now, Brown v. Board challenged the separate but equal doctrine and set the stage for desegregation across the entire United States. This showed people that they could challenge racial segregation across the country, which in turn empowered the civil rights movement and caused mass effective desegregation orders. Brown v. Board helped lead the way for the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and helped reinforce equal protection under the law. 70 years later, we now know that desegregation in schools allows for more creativity, diversity, and more educational opportunities. Brown v. Board has affected our society with our legal proceedings, our inspiration for activism, societal attitudes towards racial segregation, and our legal framework for equality. Supreme Court decisions can have a profound impact on society, as they can set legal precedents that shape laws and policies. You see, public perception varies based on the nature of the decision. Some landmark rulings may be celebrated for promoting justice and equality, while controversial ones can lead to public debate and dissent. The Supreme Court's influence on social issues, civil rights, and constitutional interpretation often shape public opinion and perceptions of the justice system. One modern case I want to talk about
is parents involved in community schools versus Seattle School District No. 1.
In 2007, students in Seattle were allowed to choose what high school they wanted to attend. But once that school became overfilled, there was a system of tiebreakers put in place. One of those tiebreakers was about racial diversity. See, schools in Seattle wanted to maintain a diverse school system. So, depending on the school, certain races were accepted than others, just to meet their quota of diversity.
Just imagine if you and your friend couldn't get into the same school because of the color of your skin.
The PICS, or Parents Involved in Community Schools group, sued the district, arguing that the racial tiebreaker violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, as well as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and Washington state law. This case went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and on June 28th of 2007, they ruled that the school's tiebreaker system was unconstitutional and that it violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Chief Justice John Roberts added on to this by saying, "The way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to stop discriminating on the basis of race."